Peterzell?
Hi.
Hi, how are you? I have just spoken to John Marks, and he informed me that you are continuing with your efforts to obtain documents from the CIA that has to do with the ORD program that was initiated by John Marks. I also read that this release of information has been denied by the Supreme Court. I'm sorry to hear that. That's true, right? What? No, John Marks had filed the Freedom of Information Act back in 1977, and for files on ORD, Office of Research and Development, documents from the CIA. And he stated to me just recently, I talked to him,
Who are you?
Bill Iannaccone, my name is. I'm from Buffalo, New York. And he stated to me that you are, continuing with your efforts to obtain these documents.
I think these are two different but related things we're talking about. His request for the ORD files
Right.
is, I guess ongoing. I'm not sure. We may have them all, or all that they're willing to give us, or they may still be processing some. Then there was a case called Sims, in which the Supreme Court decided, I think this is what you're talking about, in which the Supreme Court decided or supported the CIA
Right.
contention that that it didn't have to disclose the names of researchers in MKUltra because they were intelligence sources. You see, the CIA has statutory authority to protect sources and methods of intelligence. Now,
I'm glad to hear that the files of the ORD program are still being processed. You mean there are still, huh?
I'm not dead sure about that. I mean, we have a box of them.
Right.
Big box. And I'm not sure whether that's supposed to be all of them or whether there are more that are still to come. But as far as I know, there's no court decision that affects those except insofar as, the names of the researchers.
I think I can be of great contribution to your efforts on that program, not from the inside, but from the outside. In other words, I have been subjected to the accumulating techniques. I mean, as far as I can see, and from what I've researched, all that the CIA has developed and acquired over the years has used for me, has used on me, against me and for me. And I have been able to, decipher and make sense of not only the techniques, but what the CIA was up to. In other words, their goals, aspirations, and so forth. I am in the process of litigation here in Buffalo that, are pointing, that are, in other words, I've obtained trying to obtain certain records because there were certain processes done in, the area medical facilities. And at this point, the only thing that my lawyers are able to obtain are, obvious missing records. Okay? I can get into specifics. However, it's obvious that there's certain records that are missing. Okay? Well,
What's the bottom line?
the bottom line is that if you put all of it together, there's been a great long period of my life, okay, that has been an attempted study by the CIA, okay, and I think there's a type of technology that has been used that I think that is the reason that the ORD is going to be, very hesitant in releasing. And this technology has to do with a bioelectrical transmitter. Okay, Steve Aldrich and ORD had developed a transmitter whereas they can scan the bioelectrical impulses of the brain and transmit images. Sort of, like as the brain does on its own in a dream state. And with these images, they transmitted metaphysical symbols. And of course, there, are implications that the CIA, was also at that same time that they made these, that they used me for that experiment, that they had been influencing radical thinkers at that time, 1968, that happened, to propagate, LSD and the psychedelic drugs as a form of mind-altering or consciousness-expanding drug. That's quite a discovery, don't you think?
Did you show that?
Yeah. Like I said, I'm in the process of, obtaining, records.
Well, look, you want to write me a letter and have me sit down so what you said, but also what the evidence is.
Sure.
Legal assistance,
Okay, sure. Where can I write you?
Jay Peterzell.
Jay?
Yeah. 122 Maryland Avenue.
Okay, that's 122
Maryland.
Maryland,
like the state.
right, Maryland Avenue, Northeast,
Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.C. 20002. 20002. Yes, okay. I do believe that, the transmitter that I'm referring to that was developed by ORD has been used and may have been originally developed by, ORD for use of transmitting messages from, submarine to submarine. And I believe that one of the persons that were also in on this development was Mr. Edwin Land, who was the founder of Polaroid, who also developed the U2. I think that that when the records are released, I will be able to prove this as as time goes on. And so I'll be writing you and informing you. I think that this is why the whole fuss has been about over the years, why the CIA has been, so reluctant to release any information, because the information that they release so far only explains, that what they have tried to do with LSD as a sort of like a truth drug, or, how they used LSD and then, put an individual through severe stress, and then, they didn't want to admit, that they were influencing radical thinkers, and trying to actually change the philosophical,
take LSD to be less radical, to turn away from actions.
Well, to spiritualize.
Spiritualize people.
Right. Well, to make people less scientific in their thinking, they were using science to attempt that. discovery.
I mean, I know that is in theory.
Yes.
I think Marx talks about it.
I think that's why the CIA is very reluctant to disclose that. They wouldn't want to know that, they were actually, influencing the whole, movement during the 1968 era. Okay, so I can write you and we can correspond.
Sure.
Great.
I'll let you know when I see.
And
I do.
if I'm sure that with enough effort, we will, you can be able to obtain that information from ORD. Do you think?
No, I mean, I've got to tell you, these things are hard to prove, and
will you be willing to try, wouldn't you?
Well, we are trying.
Good. Okay. Well, I'll do what I can to contribute to your effort. Okay?